Yep. Okay. Yep. Hmm. Another fire. I mean, it is pretty amazing. But we're going to talk about the Patriot story. Ties in with Road Patrol Live. Yes, it does. There's no denying it. Yep. Yes, it does. Yep. We'll see about that. I'm not sure. Someone sent to me a question. Will tonight be subscriber only Road Patrol? Might be. Might be subscriber only. This Catherine, 102. It's a good question. Undetermined. Undetermined. Might be subscriber only Road Patrol tonight. But now, with this arrest of one of the member of the, well, not arrest, traffic stop, one of the member of the Patriots, who's crying racism. That's one of the reasons why when we go to some of these, when there's a traffic stop, this is a good example why we do cover it, because you never know who's behind the wheel in this traffic stop. Now, those of you that watch Road Patrol Live, as I look at the monitor, I have no idea why I'm raccooned. I do see that if you're watching, I seem raccooned around the eyes. I don't, maybe wearing sunglasses. I think it is because wearing sunglasses. I think that's what it is. But anyhow, I'm going to have to live with it. All right, we're live in just 2 minutes with the breaking news. Again, a member of the Patriots crying racism in regards to the fact that he was stopped with the Providence Police. So, obviously, we don't think that that's the case. Clearly not. Yep. But we'll get into it. I'm telling you. Okay, and we're live in 2 minutes as we're waiting. Yes, hey, yesterday afternoon, it was, we had the shooting in Providence. Three shot, meaning 3 people shot. And then last night, I mean, that fire was something. There was also a terrible house fire in Portsmouth. Clearly was not going to that. But then this morning, wait a minute, Cranston saw Providence, said, wait a minute, we see that. Applebee's went up in flames. I have no idea what it is. I don't know what's causing it. But I do know we're going to begin in just a moment. So, but this business of this guy's not even playing, by the way. Remember the Patriots that got pulled over right where, imagine if that had happened while it was Road Patrol Live, folks. If only. Oh, how great would that have been? But it was after 1 a.m. I mean, we're not doing that. And let's see, we're going to start in just a moment. For every traffic stop like that, most of the time, those of you that watch Road Patrol Live, and we will be out tonight, undetermined, could be subscriber only. I don't know. We just did it Sunday. There we go at 106 on what is actually a chilly but beautiful Wednesday. Folks, this is the real news that you've been waiting for, and that's what it's going to be. The real news, and it's brought to you by PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. Boy, fall is in the air. Homegrown mums and kale are just outstanding, and they have everything you need, whether it's for your home or your business. It's interesting. I do see more people decorating, embracing autumn. There's nothing else we can do about it. Embracing fall, embracing autumn, and saying, okay, there's nothing we can do about it, so we might as well just embrace it. And I know they are doing that. But at PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center, 3688 Quaker Lane, North Kingstown, pumpkins, straw bales, corn stalks, gourds, Indian corn, native vegetables, local honey, maple syrup, still available, obviously. This is the ideal time for planting. Nice sunshine during the day, cool at night. So whether it's a large selection of trees, shrubs, perennials, they have it. PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center, 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. Now, make sure you check out DePietro.com. We will have video up. We were yesterday afternoon, we were in Providence. Three shot. So 3 people, victims, none life-threatening. 2 initially, I believe, transported by rescue. 3rd hobbled into the hospital later. Ready? Spoiler alert, none of them are cooperating, but we were on the scene. We have good footage, especially for the subscribers. You get to see the real footage as they were still treating them. And then last night, I mean, that was, there was quite the building fire on Westminster Street. Folks, check it all out. We'll have that. And then we will have the police report. Remember, the Patriots pulled over last night, right in the area that I normally patrol, as a matter of fact. And remember, DePietro.com, brought to you by the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. As we say, lunch, dinner, drinks in the lounge. Oh, and they're waiting for you. Plus, don't forget, the market at Coesit has delicious ready-made meals. You just have to heat them up when you get home. They have exclusive items. Pop in there. Say hello. 7 days a week they're open. Coesit is also a perfect spot for a gathering of some kind, whatever it may be. Family in town, birthday party, anniversary party, retirement party, any type of party. Collation, lunch, whatever it may be, rehearsal dinner. The Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. So yesterday there was a shooting, suspect still on the loose. Also today, now the big news, and I want to get to it, is this situation where, and again, folks, those of you that watch Road Patrol, I mean, there's nothing we can do other than, can you imagine if, in fact, we had been out? Now, many times when we're out on Road Patrol, we, we'll do it. We were at a traffic stop last night, and you just, for many reasons, you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes, many times, police heads up, they catch something, they find something. Sometimes individuals run. Many times it can go a lot of different ways. Many times the police will often thank the individual, send them on their way. Then we have, now if only this had happened while we're there, Christian Barmore, star Patriot player. He just got a huge contract, by the way, and he's not playing. Christian Barmore, star defensive lineman with the Patriots, cited following a tense traffic stop early Wednesday morning, so early this morning in Rhode Island. Providence Police described Barmore as belligerent and aggressive. The Patriot player said it was racism at its finest. It happened just before 1 a.m. Elmwood Avenue in Providence. How often are we on Elmwood Avenue? How about every single night? Where do we start the night? Where do I roll into the city? Elmwood. Yep, for a reason. Now, the other thing, a lot of people were saying, I see some people putting comments online. Why is he out in Providence? Why don't they go out in Boston? For years now, the Patriot players, because of Gillette Stadium, when they want to go out, Providence is just, it's easier to get to. It's quicker. And many times for years, there was a club, I think it was on or around Broad Street, Jovan's. And that was Patriot player hangout. Will McGinnis, Lawyer Malloy, they'd be there every Sunday night. They'd be there. Sometimes if they have Tuesday off, right? Tuesday's normally the day off for the NFL. They have to be back on Wednesday. Maybe on a Monday night, they go into the city of Boston. But a lot of Patriot players, obviously, they go to the FL, they go to the Foxy. Aaron Hernandez, I remember, he was not a lot of times, but Aaron Hernandez was always in and out of Providence because he lived in North Attleboro. And it's just quicker for them to shoot in. Providence is closer. Many times you would see member of the Patriots, they'd go to the Capitol Grill. Again, they'd go to, Club Desire. They go to places like that. So it's not that uncommon. There have been, obviously, you had you had the whole situation totally unrelated. Patrick Pass, former Patriot player, lives in North Providence. You had the situation, a member of the Patriots grabbed or caught a DUI in North Providence, 3:30 in the morning. A hero of the Super Bowl against the Seahawks. But just before 1 a.m. on Elmwood Avenue. Now, according to the Providence Police report, and I will have this posted on Patriots.com, the windows in his Jeep Grand Cherokee were tinted and he had a plate cover on the temporary registration, causing issues reading the information. So now many times, if you have something like that, number one, it sets off the flock camera. Number two, if they're trying to run your plate, they're unable to run the plate. So they try to pull him over, but they allege he did what they call a slow roll. So the slow roll, that is known to police, slowing down an interaction. Why are they doing that? We're going to stop. We're just not going to stop right away. We're slow. Many times people in the car there hiding things. They may toss something out the window. If there's compartments in the car, could be firearm, most of the time narcotics, but many times firearm, contraband weapons. And the area where he was on Elmwood, which runs parallel to Broad, many, again, those of you that follow Road Patrol, little bit of a high narcotic usage area. So he had an attitude toward police, handed them paperwork in an aggressive manner. Now, he's a big guy. They searched the Jeep and found what appeared to be a blunt and an unknown substance. They also found several tubes filled with weed. Again, Providence Police, it's 1 a.m., not looking for any trouble. Now, many times, when I was reading the police report, and we will have it posted on Patriots.com, kind of laughing about is because many times you'll hear me on Road Patrol say, oh, wow, there we are in the middle of the hood. Oh, there's a Ferrari. There's an expensive Mercedes, all windows tinted. There is a Range Rover in the middle of, if you remember, it was about 2 weeks ago, right at Broad Street, Broad and Elmwood, not one, two Ferraris. Just happened to be there at 10:30 at night. Nothing to see here. But anyhow, so he was cited for operation of an unregistered vehicle, display of plate penalties, and driving with an expired license. So what happens after the incident? He goes on X, formerly known as Twitter. I just experienced for the first time 5 Providence cops being very unprofessional, racism at its finest, he posted. Providence Police issued a statement. Providence Police Department take all concerns from the public very seriously. Utmost professionalism. In this case, the vehicle in question was found to be unregistered during a routine traffic stop, in violation of the law. Officers acted full compliance, department protocols, state regulations. Any encounter with law enforcement can be stressful. Officers have to enforce the law. Patriots haven't commented yet. Gerard Mayo, the Patriot head coach, was asked about it. We're aware of the situation. And this is the second one. You had the other one, another member of the Patriots that was had caught with some cheap blow and then also strangulation. I had a conversation with him this morning. I'm at least this time, blah, blah, blah. We're focusing on Jacksonville. Fourth season with the Patriots, drafted in the second round, 2021. 4-year contract extension, $92 million. However, he was diagnosed with blood clots in July, has not played this season. So what is he doing? Driving around. Team captain, driving around South Providence. Team captain Jabril Peppers was arrested last week, assault and battery drug charges. Now, I want to just touch on the business of, okay, so maybe he was overwhelmed. I'll grant you that, of that he felt like, oh wow. But again, those of you that watch Road Patrol know that they that's police standard. They roll in heavy. You do that, and let alone, and let me just I'll show those that are watching on. And again, we're live on X. We're obviously live on Facebook. Thank you for the stars, and then we're live on YouTube. Listen, that's a big guy, and we also, I'll find out, but we also, there's various people in the vehicle not cooperating. This is he's a big guy. So you pull him over, it's not just some, little skinny hood rat. That's definitely like, okay, we could use a little bit of backup. Now, let alone he's doing the slow roll. You don't know. Does he have a handgun? Does he have a weapon? Or is it just drugs? Why is he doing that? I'm not even going to get into he has every right to be there. I'm not going to get into that. But the element of racism, it's completely false. That, to me, that's what you throw out. He's upset he got pulled over. He's upset that he's going to be questioned by the team. He's not even playing, supposedly because of these blood clots. I don't know what's causing the blood clots. Many times there can be different substances that someone takes that can cause the blood clots. But so I'm sure if you're the Patriots and you just shelled out, this guy just got a contract extension for $92 million, and he's not even playing, and it's 1 a.m., and he's rolling around in South Providence, right near Broad and Elmwood, and he's copping an attitude with the police. And by the way, inside the vehicle, they find ash where he, it would seem that they had been, and again, I get it, it's legal, but they, inside the vehicle, an ash cup appeared to be a blunt and an unknown substance. So who knows? And again, I get it. It's 2024. Hey, Juan, where have you been? Memo. Cannabis is legal. Fully get that. Supposedly not if you're driving. Now, again, we're not going to get into who else was in the vehicle. What was he looking for? Blah, blah, blah. But I think it is, he just got $92 million from the Patriots. He's not even playing. Oh, he has blood clots. He can't play. He agreed to a 4-year contract extension in April, worth up to $92 million. He's not even playing. He gets pulled over, incited. Now, could have pulled over. Good evening, officers. License registration. Here you go. I'm sorry, was I? Oh, okay. Hey, listen, I'll get that handled. Sorry. By the way, I play for the Patriots. If I could help something, can I get you guys tickets? Whatever. Tickets to a game. A lot of different ways that could have been handled. This business of the racism, I mean, it's such a weak take. It's such a cheap thing to throw out when you're in the wrong. It wasn't daytime. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that could have gone. Folks, this portion of our program, but we will be out on Road Patrol tonight. And again, what I like, it's not what I like about it. Let me take two. What reinforces to me is many times when we do roll up, to a traffic stop and the police are there. Like last night we did, right? And whoever that good Samaritan was who said, I've been watching you, it's right over here, and led us right to Lockwood and Friendship. They had 3 cars there, and that was early in the night. That was what, 7:25? We started to roll to a knife incident on Carlton, which is where the 2 shooters were found of the 7-year-old girl. And instead, we ended up at the story of the night, which was the fire. At least I thought it was the story of the night. Now, I had someone saying, does this make you rethink? Maybe you should stay on. No, I'm not. I'm not going to roll around till 1 a.m. looking for blanking traffic stops. That's not happening. But it shows me and reinforces you never know what can come out of one of those. But folks, you have to admit, those of you that enjoy road patrol, I mean, just how funny and classic would it be if we could have been live? I mean, that's what goes through my mind. How epic it could have been if we're live, and there it is. It's one of the it's this guy. We'd have the full footage of what happened and what took place. Now we will get the body cam footage, and we'll have it on the website Patriots.com. This portion of the program is brought to you by AJ Drywall Plasters Home Improvement. If you're thinking of improving your home, call them today, 401-323-9252. If you're listening on AM 1380, 99.9 FM, maybe online at the website, nothing wrong with that. Folks, Road Patrol live later. You can call them at 401-323-9252. AJ Home Improvement. Maybe you just get the inside of your home painted, or maybe you have an unfinished basement, unfinished garage, have an in-law apartment added on. Maybe for your business, you don't need to move. You're just looking to refurbish. For instance, Hasbro is looking at a building in Dorchester that they may take over and completely rehab as they're leaving Rhode Island because they're tired of getting shaken down by Governor McGreed. Hasbro should call AJ Home Improvement, 401-323-9252. Folks, I also want to remind you, Fred sent me a message. Fred needs some branches trimmed and asked, who did I recommend? I don't mind answering questions like that. JD Tree Service. Think of the chosen one. JD Lawn Care Tree Service. 401-441-0154. 401-441-0154. JD Lawn Care. Get those branches trimmed. You don't know. Another storm could be coming through. Now, it is that was a bad fire last night. And by the way, I mean, my clothes were, I know the firefighters did. I mean, my clothes were reeking with smoke when I got out of there. It's not your imagination. I mean, the things of smoke just take over. And on a nightly, now granted, they have masks and the whole thing. I hadn't thought about that. Someone asked me, do you have a mask you could wear? Maybe that is, I still have masks from COVID, masks that we sold on the website, Patriots.com. I mean, it hadn't occurred to me that I should actually start to bring that along. I don't think that's the fully type mask you need. I mean, they have the full gas mask. That was a bad fire. And that fire this morning, I don't know what to make of what happened at Applebee's in Garden City. So unusual. Early in the morning, boy, that thing just turned into complete inferno. The flames of that early in the morning, that is a relatively new structure right in Garden City, right before 8 o'clock. And suddenly the whole, I'm not sure, I'm not sure what to make of that, as a matter of fact. And then yesterday afternoon, that was, there were 3 individuals that had gunshot wounds. That's right. Wayland Street. It's right in the Hartford Avenue housing project. So if you're coming Route 6, Route 6, you take that exit. It's right near the Marino Park playground. And then let me just pull that up. What's the street? I mean, I've been on that street. It's one of those areas of the city that you have to pay attention when you're over there. If you're me, or anyone really, but I want to just it's right off Hartford Avenue. What's that street that I'm blanking on? It's right off of hold on. I know that I'm live. No, it's not there. It's Hartford Avenue. And I don't know why I'm not finding it on. I know exactly what I'm looking for. And it's right off of route coming out of Oneyville. And then your Hartford Avenue. And we were right there yesterday. And you take, okay, there's the auto parts. There's the, Bodell. That's it. All right. God, I'm losing my mind here. Bodell, it does run on one side closer to Merino Park, but then it runs through the other side. Your Bodell runs into Wayland. Yeah, Wayland Road. So again, if you're a subscriber, you saw the real footage, which is I'm not convinced we could post that without running into problems with the platform, but we did post it there. Folks, I want to remind you about Kids Club on the Pike. Now, it's located right on the Johnston Cranston line, and Kids Club on the Pike. So, what's this? I do have people asking me about it. I encourage people to contact them, but I don't mind if I could be helpful and answer questions for it. But Kids Club on the Pike it's right on Plainfield Pike. It's right on Plainfield Pike, right on the Cranston Johnston line, and it's perfect spot for children. It's a perfect spot to have a celebration for children. Now, some of the places that people used to go, they go to, maybe you take children, birthday party, youth team, what have you, to a pizza place. Well, the kids end up still kind of running around. Maybe you bring them to Chuck E. Cheese. Well, everybody leaves sick with a germ. I've already told the story. This one man contacted me. Some parents said, why don't we bring the kids to Dave and Buster's? Little kids, 8, 9 years old, something like that. On a Friday night, two of the kids got robbed going through the food. It's not funny, the food court. I'm like, have you lost your? You can't go to Providence Place Mall on a Friday night. Friday night at Providence Place Mall is gang night. It has been for a very long time, and that tradition is not going to die. Leave anytime soon. You don't have to do that. Kids Club on the Pike, whether the children are 2 years old or 5 years old or 10 years old or 13 or 14 years old. Birthday parties, youth team, cheerleading team, soccer team, fall ball, Kids Club on the Pike. It's a perfect spot for a team celebration, birthday party, before and after school programs, preschool programs. I share their Facebook page. It's perfect, easy to get to, right off of 295 Plainfield Pike. It's Kids Club on the Pike. Now, at 129, yes. Are you going to be doing Road Patrol Live later? We are. Might be, I don't know. We just did subscriber only Sunday night. There's obviously a lot going on right now, undetermined as of yet. We're going to slowly work it in. For those that want to do it, it's 7 cents a day. I don't know what else you can get for 7 cents a day. Nothing around here, that's for sure. Nothing worthwhile. So undetermined. That's more of a pregame. Before the game, we'll decide. But I want to just check now. I'm just checking some other news that is out there right now. They still haven't announced. I know my sources tell me there was an arrest in regarding to the 18-year-old that was shot and killed. I think that's interesting, and that'll come out. You don't hear, Governor McGreed is still announcing all these grants for the bridges. What I don't hear being covered is the fact that, first of all, this is ridiculous that early voting is already starting in Rhode Island. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, folks. I don't know. It's going to take some effort to have legitimate elections again, because there's no reason to have early voting in this manner. Pat's Lyman, Christian Barmore, accusing Providence Police unprofessional racism. I don't. Again, this guy is embarrassing himself. I think he realizes he might be in trouble with the team. I think he realizes if you're the Patriots, you're paying 92 million to a guy who's not even playing. Now again, last night was Tuesday night. The Patriots there, what they're, as I've said, as someone that has covered the team, their big nights that they go out are Sunday night after the game, especially years ago when the Patriots would have a 1 o'clock game. On Sunday night, a bunch of them would all be out in Providence. And then on Tuesday, they have the day off. They have to go to the facility. They go to Gillette on Monday. They start going through some of the tapes and things like that. Light workout. And then Tuesday is their day off. Monday night, most of the time, you'd see them, they'd be out in Boston. So, but if they wanted to go out during the week on a Wednesday or Thursday, they just want to go out for a short amount of time. And a lot of times they felt by going out in Providence, they could kind of be under the radar. So it wouldn't draw as much attention. If they went out in Boston, maybe draw a little more attention. And then they leave on Friday to go to the city where they're going to be playing, or on Saturday morning, and then they're at the team hotel. They go out in the city that they're visiting. Many times, I'm not sure if people realize. So the opposing teams, they usually still stay in Providence. If the team that's playing, for instance, the Houston team, a bunch of them were all out in Providence on Saturday night. They go to different places, or they have various people come visit them at their hotel. But, if you're this player and you just got a 4-year contract extension for big money and you're not even playing, and then the Patriots are saying, what is this guy doing? I'm willing to bet there's some parts of his contract that could probably be revoked if he runs into trouble like he did last night. And it wasn't even a major issue, but he should have just taken the citation, acted a little more professionally, and go with it. No, he's crying racism by the Providence Police, which is, I don't even know. We'll have to wait till we see the body cam footage. I highly doubt that's the situation. I can tell you, folks, look at some of the news. I mean, if you're police right now, you have to be on guard. When you have someone that's not stopping, when you have a big individual, a large individual, I should say, behind the wheel who's not stopping and then carrying an attitude. I understand why he was upset. He was just upset with the wrong people. He is a huge guy, by the way. SUV driven by him, received summons, issues with the Jeep registration. This business of the racism, we don't know where he was coming from. Elmwood and Parkus. So I know exactly where that is. We were just on Parkus the other night. The other night, when actually last week, when we were on foot road patrol, when the police ended up grabbing that guy, that was the street we were on. So sadly, I know exactly where that is, Elmwood and Parkus. Let me just see. This is the Boston Globe story. If there's anything new here, the vehicle window tint all around, plate cover on the temporary registration. Police maneuvered the cruiser behind the Jeep, Elmwood and Bridgham. I mean, we're not there once in a while. We're there all the time. Police maneuvered their cruiser behind the Jeep at Elmwood and Bridgham. Noticed temporary registration, activated their lights for him to stop. He didn't stop. He slow rolled, came to a complete stop on Broad Street. So that's right at that gas station right there that we're at. I'm going to say conservatively 4 times a night that we are there. So they exit the cruiser, approach him, became confrontational. First response was, why is he getting stopped? Police stated the reason. Attitude towards police, handed over aggressive manner. The Jeep's temporary registration expired October 5th, did not provide an updated one. Proceeded with giving police an attitude, asked for a ticket. It was at this time the police advised Barmore his vehicle was getting towed on scene. He was going to perform a search of the vehicle as well. They spoke with the mother, telling her she could come pick up her son at the scene. During the time, they observed reaching under the seat, trying to conceal an object, despite being repeatedly ordered to exit his Jeep. The lineman asked for a police supervisor. During the time, he was on the phone with his mother, stating he wants a sergeant on the scene, to which we stated respectfully, he steps out of the vehicle, the sergeant will arrive on the scene. Finally got out after several attempts. Should be noted, while we're trying to get control, he kept pushing away from police, stating he didn't want to be touched, and he's a big guy. He walked towards the rear of the vehicle. Police proceeded with the search, found an ash cup, blunt rolled unknown substance. He was seen reaching under the seat. They found several tubes filled with cannabis under the passenger seat. It was at that time he walked towards a black Dodge Challenger and left the scene while still giving police a hard time. They left summonses in his SUV for operating unregistered vehicle and driving with expired registration. They had to leave them in the Jeep rather than hand the documents to him at the scene due to his belligerent behavior and not wanting to stay on the scene. Patriots announced in August he had diagnosed blood clots, no timetable for his return to the playing field. Perez said that if Mr. Barmore reached out to the police, we can address them in a constructive manner. So the Globe has more details. Again, because I'm live, I can't post this immediately. Meaning right now as we're live. I will post it right after the real news, so after the 2 o'clock. I want to just read. I'm also saying Kraft did this interview about the decision to fire and get rid of Belichick. And, okay. I gave him so much power. He had full control of everything. Shame on me. I should have some checks and balances. All right. But again, we learn more about that. And this business of racism, the guy's not complying. When you have the tinted windows, they don't know who they're stopping. So listen, you're not even playing. So at the very least, number one, all your paperwork should be up to date. Number one. Number two, stop copying an attitude. Just give me the ticket. What an attitude on this guy. Wow, folks, this portion of the program, speaking of vehicles, maybe he needs a vehicle today. He should stop by Valari Motors. Quality pre-owned vehicles, largest selection of Volvos in Rhode Island, 1003 Park Avenue in Cranston, Valari Motors. Great prices, great vehicles, great service. Valari Motors in Cranston, New England's, excuse me, folks. Excuse me. Must have been the cheap blow with Barmore. New England's number one dealer in pre-owned Volvo sales and service. I have to stop getting that stuff at Kennedy Plaza. It's the worst. You just keep sneezing the next day. Valari Motors. Contact Paul Staskavich, Stephen the mechanic, and they would get the best value for your trade-in at Valari Motors. Stop it and see Paul, 1003 Park Avenue in Cranston. So, folks, good afternoon. Right now it's 1:40. Good afternoon. This is the real news. I think that's a cheap hit on the Providence Police. I think it is the fact this guy with that kind of money, and let's go through some obvious ones. Why is he even driving? Right? You just went $92 million. You're a professional football player. Why don't you have a driver? Why are you even driving? Why don't you have your registration up? The Providence Police, they have better things to do than stop a vehicle like that. But a vehicle like that, 1 a.m. in that area, folks, we could have been right there. I could have had the footage of him leaving. I have to admit, I can't get past that. I'm going to have to get over it. I hate when we miss a scene like that. But who was to know? Next time will be a little, well, next time, I mean, again, it's 1 a.m. I want to remind you, Frank contacted me, and Frank's thinking of getting his driveway paved and asked for a recommendation. The answer is yes. Call J. Perry Paving, Frank, 401 732 1730. How funny would it have been if we could have got this traffic stop right live on Road Patrol Live? I mean, we're just going to stay at it. But call J. Perry Paving today. Get your driveway paved. 401 732 1730. Serving Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts. J. Perry Paving. High quality, fair pricing, exceptional service, 20 years experience, residential paving, commercial paving. J. Perry Paving. Free estimate. 401 732 1730 for letter J. J. Perry Paving. Well, folks, good afternoon. This is the real news. Again, you hate to see anyone to be given the gift. I regard so many of these athletes, whether it's in the NBA or the NFL, I regard them. They to me, they're like lottery winners. They have won the lottery. They get to continue to play sports games, basically, that the rest of the population had to give up many years ago. And it's all these years later, and they're paid huge amounts of money, set for life type of money, life-changing amounts to play games. They are lottery winners, is what they are. How difficult it is, and the various things that can happen, and the injuries, and this guy, to be given that amount of money, you have hit the lottery. You know, $92 million contract extension, and you're not even playing, because I don't know what's causing the blood clots. I'm willing to bet the ganja's not helping the situation. So but to then turn around and then blame it on racism is just absolutely, beyond the pale, for crying out loud. So, but folks, we are right now. I also want to mention that right now, I'll just mention Governor McKee is celebrating. We got all these grants. We got all these grants for the bridge, and we're getting these grants for the bridge. I want to remind you that none of this is guaranteed. He can continue to say that. I don't believe that. It's a huge process with the grants. It's huge amounts of money. Right now, the Biden administration, I mean, the federal government, they can hold up a lot of things. And I think I've already told you that. I know that all bets could be off pending what happens with the federal investigation and then with a new administration. So as much as right now, Governor McGreed is celebrating, we got another grant for the bridge. So the, organized labor, the unions that are going to be doing all this work, they just keep cranking up their price tag. There's no real telling of where this thing is going to go. So there's nothing. I don't. There's still no plan, and it's so long. It's so far off. The people in the East Bay, and I often mention Lynn Miller, Tommy Bryan. There's a number of different people, but it is it's just going to be so long. I don't know what's going to happen in the interim, other than a lot of quality of life it's just something we're all going to have to deal with it. And as I have stated in the past, and I don't think this gets talked about enough, but it's not just the bridge. The bridge traffic backed up affects all different types of traffic around 95. And so, and there is no, because we don't have an efficient administration, just drags on. I don't know what the answer is. I also know this: the McKee administration, they certainly don't have the answer. They absolutely don't know. They don't have the answer. He's trying this false narrative right now that he and your eye put out a poll that shows he's actually very popular. No one believes that. I mean, no one reasonable believes that. And he's not doing a great job. He's doing a terrible job. He's not up for the job. As I have stated in the past at 1:47 on this Wednesday, October 16th, when Governor McKee says, I'm doing the best I can, I mean, there's a lot of different comparisons to that. I think Bailey Zappi was saying the same thing when he was trying to be the quarterback for the Patriots. I think he was working hard. I think he was trying to perform at the best level possible. The same thing as Mac Jones. The problem is it just wasn't good enough. And McKee is like that. When Lieutenant Governor Matto says, every day I work as hard as I can. I mean, I believe her, but I view it as a vehicle that can't go above 30 miles an hour. It's like a well-tuned, perfectly running golf cart. But a golf cart will never go 60 miles an hour. A golf cart will never go 70 miles an hour. When McKee says, I'm working as hard as I possibly can, the problem is he's the wrong person for the job. He will never be the right person for the job. He doesn't have the skill set for the job. And like I've said in the past, there are some players, they're very good college players. They're very good college football players. They're very good college basketball players. They're not cut out for either the NBA or the NFL. And Tim Tebow is a good example. He was a phenomenal college player. National championship, player of the year. Just wasn't cut out for the NFL. Folks, this portion of our program, The Real News, is brought to you by Watson Materials. Remember, they carry the largest selection of landscape materials in Rhode Island, South County Trail, Watson Materials. Call them for a request a quote, 401-885-0600. Watson Materials, the most complete selection of landscape materials in Rhode Island. Landscape lighting, pavers, retaining walls, natural stone, cobblestone, decorative stone. Watson Materials. When I share their Facebook page, it is excuse me, such a wow factor of what your outside area could look like. Watson Materials, the most complete selection of landscape materials in Rhode Island. Give them a call, request a quote, 401-885-0600, and look for them as I share their page on Facebook. Well, folks, good afternoon. Again, yes, we're going to be active later on without question. Yesterday afternoon and last night, I mean, it was incredibly busy. And then it turned out the real story of the night. Look at today, Wednesday, 1:00 in the morning. Remember, the Patriots pulled over. And now, big story. That actually becomes a national story because he plays in the NFL. Gets pulled over by Providence Police, cries racism. And then you had Applebee's this morning in Cranston. And I also want to mention, and I shared this. So for those of you that watch Road Patrol, it was just a couple of weeks ago that we had heard about, I should say, and I want to point out David Sarmatino. We heard about a I think it was a carjacking or home invasion in North Providence. And so I ended up in North Providence We were unsuccessful finding that, but North Providence Police have made an arrest. I did post it on the Facebook page, and this is another example of just who's out there. And, you know, those two individuals, North Providence Police, two individuals, carjacking and first degree robbery on Friday, October 11th. So this past Friday, North Providence police detectives arrested two suspects carjacking first degree robbery. It was an incident that happened Wednesday, September 25th, 242 Smithfield Road, North Providence. So this Jesus, age 18 of Providence, and Michael Mata, age 20 of Cranston, held without bail at the ACI. So there they are. Now, I know you can tell one of them definitely, or maybe both of them, they definitely think they're a tough guy. Well, the good news is they have now landed in a place where they get to find out just how much they're a tough guy. I just think you're 18 years old and 20 years old, and now do you? I hope people. I don't know if people, I should say, recognize the amount of arrests that are taking place. 18 years old, 19 years old, and they're being held at the ACI. And so many different people, when I post this stuff, they post, "Oh, they're just kids." No, they're not. And you don't do them a favor by saying they're just kids. They are legally an adult, and they are. You may say, "Oh, they're just kids." Well, they're now residing with the men and the adults at the ACI. And as someone that I've interviewed a number of former inmates, correctional officers, you don't want to be 18, 19 years old at the ACI. You don't want to. It's a different experience. It's a different experience of how you are viewed and treated, to put it mildly. Folks, this is another example. We talk to them once a week. I implore you to stop in and see my firearms guy, George, Rhode Island Guns and Ammo, Post Road in Warwick. It's not your imagination. When you have the media saying to JD Vance that Venezuelan gangs have only overtaken 6 apartment buildings in Colorado, we have a problem. Only 6. I implore you, on this Wednesday or tomorrow or whenever, stop in and see George, Rhode Island Guns and Ammo, Post Road in Warwick, right off of Route 37. He had to completely redo the store right down the street from Greg's. You owe it to yourself, your employees. Folks, it's not your imagination. I mean, the statistics are out there. Because of the McKee policies, because of the Biden-Harris policies, Rhode Island is a magnet. Rhode Island is a magnet. And for those of you that watch Road Patrol know, we have some dangerous individuals that view our state as easy picking. Governor McKee and Biden and Harris have put all of us in harm's way. Stop in and see George at Rhode Island Guns and Ammo. Post Road in Warwick. Special discount. If you mention the program, Rhode Island Guns and Ammo, whatever it may be. Maybe you just need to stock up on ammo. Maybe you want handgun, or he has those defensive shotguns and they're not expensive, $200. Somebody comes into your house, they hear the magic sound, which says, "Get the blank out of my house." Rhode Island Guns and Ammo, look for them on Facebook. Well, folks, good afternoon. Again, clearly, we are once again in the middle of. I also I take heat sometimes from these different people because my coverage of first responders last night, that was a very difficult situation for those firefighters to be in. This morning in Cranston, that was a difficult situation for the firefighters to be in. Look at what has been happening where our first responders, because of people like Governor McKee, because of the Rhode Island State House, because of Biden Harris, they have really put our law enforcement into dangerous situations. There's very dangerous criminals from other countries that they have allowed in to the country and into the state. And I think you've already seen that Governor McKee pretends he doesn't see it. He never acknowledges crime. There's no one in Rhode Island. Patricia Morgan's the first Rhode Island a person running for office, first one to post close the border. Where the Rhode Island politicians and elected officials have really let the public down is their policies have made it very dangerous. And it's not your imagination. We've now had repeated instances of people firing on law enforcement. Look what happens. A professional athlete, he should be ashamed of himself. He owes the Providence Police an apology. He owes the Providence Police an apology. He's making it more dangerous for them because you watch that attitude permeates. Other people stop. Oh, you're stopping me just like you're stopping the Patriot player. And folks, those of you that watch Road Patrol know it's pretty diversified, the force. So what a cheap thing to say, which is putting law enforcement in danger, is what it does. Folks, this portion of our program, remember, the kitchen continues to be the center of so many lives. So why not have your dream kitchen with Dennis and Christina from Dreammaker? Dreammaker, they have a beautiful state-of-the-art design center, Greenwich Avenue in Warwick. They're right near Crown Plaza, next to Kachai. Dreammaker. Call today, set up an appointment, 401-433-7272. One-stop shop. They take you from concept to completion. Dreammaker. Remember, respect, integrity, customer focus, experience upgraded living with your bath or kitchen remodel today. Enhancing lives, improving homes. Dreammaker. Your dream kitchen is waiting for you. Get them into the mix with Dreammaker. Well, folks, good afternoon. Right now it's 1:59. This is the real news. Yes, we will be doing Road Patrol Live later. I don't know yet. It might be subscriber only. Unsure. Not determined yet. More of a game time type decision. But we're definitely going to be out either way. If we go subscriber only, everyone still gets to view it, but you view it later on. You don't get to see it live. So, but we shall see. Listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks to our moderators. We're going to be updating to Patriot.com coming up. Those listening on the radio, stay tuned. 2:00 news. By the way, the big Harris interview on Fox is later tonight as well. We'll be out later. Enjoy this Wednesday.